It's showtime.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. This is episode 171. We are closing out our season. We got one more show after this one, and then that's going to be the end of the season. This one is it's a particularly interesting show, I think. We're going to do the Deadly Mantis in full color, our timeline. So, but let me bring up listen to me. Let me bring up my able-bodied assistants, Major Millie Hazzard and Master Sergeant Major.
Was that a Freudian slip there, Major or General? Hello? We can't hear you. Nope. Major Millie, can you hear me?
Can't hear you at all.
Yeah, we can't hear you, mate. General.
Go out and come back in.
No.
He's going to come back in.
Well, I was kind of worried there. You know, he made a little Freudian slip there, and I thought he was kind of messing with us.
I think that maybe the FCC got him for the mistake.
Yeah, that FCC, you know, always vigilant.
Yeah, there's something suspicious going on, but you know, we're doing high level stuff here, so I'm not surprised.
Right.
They're always messing with us.
That's right. You know, they better not cut our budget, because then, you know, we're just going to leave the country wide open to all them giant monsters.
That's what I'm saying, is that there's always something going on.
Yeah,
there's always something going on with this high level, you know, and the general's been enmeshed in a lot of important work, you know, so of course they're going to try and silence us.
Yeah,
they're always trying to silence us.
Always trying to silence us, you know. But how are you doing, Major? You doing all right?
Well, I'm doing all right, but I did hear the Freudian slip, you know, and it doesn't represent who I am. So hopefully here he is. He's going to maybe set the record straight.
All right, what the hell happened?
You're back.
We don't know, General.
Yeah, well, you know, could you hear me at all?
Nope.
All right, so I was just nothing. I was just.
That's right. It turned into a silent movie.
God damn it! All right, this show is not for kids. All right, damn it! But wait a minute. Hold on. You knew when to come up. When I said, let me bring up my able-bodied assistants. Yeah. And when I said, can you hear me? You went,
no.
So come on. Is this a joke? Is this a gag?
No, it is not a joke. Yeah, you said, you know, you brought us on, and then you cut out on us. Because you said something about, you almost said.
Intro the show is okay. I cut out after I brought you on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I mentioned that you made
show's okay. We don't have to start over again.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Just this little bit here. I mean, it's not a bit.
I'm having problems with this phone. I go on a phone, folks. That's how I get my camera, and my microphone is a telephone. So an iPhone, by the way. And I've been having trouble with this iPhone all day. I think it's loaded up now, and it's overloaded. So I've been trying to get press out about this show today, and it's been giving me crap. Anyway, okay. So this is episode 171, The Deadly Mantis. We're going to do it in full color. And Havoc disappeared.
What? I'm here.
Where are you, Havoc? I'm sorry, Hazzard disappeared.
I'm right here, General. I'm listening to everything.
So, what happened?
Nothing. You just had an audio error. You came out, you came back in. It's no problem. Let's move on.
Audio error.
Yeah.
All right. An audio error.
Yes, you're getting paranoid. It's all the years that you spent with, with different traumas.
I blame it on Mothra dust.
It's Mothra dust.
That's it. Mothra dust. Yep.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about another big flying bug today. The Deadly Mantis. Universal International. So this is a universal monster. But you never see, I believe tarantula was also universal.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, you hear about Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman all the time, Bride of Frankenstein, and whatnot. Even the Invisible Man, but you never hear about these guys. These were the 50s, and even the Creature from the Black Lagoon, which was from the 50s. But you don't hear about these guys. So anyway, it starts out. And by the way, I'm wearing my polar outfit for this show, the blue outfit. Because a lot of it takes place up in the North Pole near Santa Claus. Anyway, so they start the movie talking about way up north. Volcanic eruptions caused some of the ice to melt. Global warming. And it releases. And there it is up at the top of the North Pole. There's the ice caps melting. It releases the giant mantis. Now, the colorizing program, though it does good sometimes as far as the colorization, it does cut out the edges of slides that have like letters and stuff in it. I don't know why it does that. Maybe because it realizes that we're doing a movie and they don't want you doing a movie because it's copyrighted.
Maybe so.
I don't know. But again, that's why the is cut in half. It's he, Deadly Mantis. So here they're talking about the 3 lines of defense up in the north, in case there's an invasion, from Russia or whatever, what have you, from Greenland. I don't know. So these are the 3 lines of defense: the DEW line, the Canada radar fence, and there's another one down there.
The Pine Tree radar fence.
Pine Tree radar fence. Okay, so these are the three. Now, the reason that they got these is because evidently the filmmakers or maybe the screenwriter reached out to find out information about these things. At the very end, the last slide in this timeline is them thanking these people for sharing that information, I guess, because it's sensitive information. So anyway, there's one of the radars, and there's one of the stations way up north, way up there, up at the top. The DEW line, I guess. And we have a plane that comes in, and off steps Peter Gunn. Yes, Craig Stevens is in this movie. So I'll be making Peter Gunn jokes all throughout this timeline. So there he is in a Russian hat stepping off the plane. I guess we had those too, but we've seen them so many times in movies for Russia that we just, we don't do the Elmer Fudd hats anymore.
Yep, guess not.
Now, one of the other radar stations up north there, a little farther north, they get a blip on the radar, and all of a sudden they're being attacked by something they can't see. It's a giant something. So it breaks open the window, and the snow comes bailing in, and those guys are not having a good day. The guy calls in for the checkpoint, making sure that they're okay. He's not getting an answer. He tells his boss, which is Craig Stevens, who just arrived. And his name is Colonel Joe Parkman. I got to call him by his name, Colonel Joe Parkman. I got my notes today. So I don't look like an idiot. So, but he still looks like Peter Gunn anyway. So he's like, well, that's peculiar. Let's go check it out. So they go and check it out, and sure enough, yeah, something has attacked this station. And the guys are gone. They're nowhere to be found. We don't even find chewed up clothes, which happens in a lot of films.
Not even an arm or a leg or something.
Nothing. And then we find that something has flown in, skidded in, as it were. And it's a three-toed thing. They have a shot where the wind blows the snow out of the ruts there, and you see it's a three-toed. And I don't know if praying mantis have 3 toes. That kind of seems weird to me, but they have like pincher kind of things, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
Don't bite my head off now. Little praying mantis joke. Do you see what I did there?
I saw that.
So these guys look like they're in a 50s like movie. Their plane is attacked. Another one attacked. Again, Parkman is like, well, let's go check it out. And sure enough, he sends planes out, and they see the wreckage there. We are under attack by something, and they go out and they check it out, and they find a giant tip of some kind of claw, basically. But they don't know what it is. They've never seen anything like it. So they're like, well, what the hell is that? It looks organic. And they bring in their expert up there, up in the North Pole. And he's like, I don't know what it is. But then again, I just got stuck here at the North Pole. I'm not that great at what I do. That's why I'm up at the North Pole. So he's looking at it. He's like, I have no clue. I have no idea. It's organic. Yeah. Send it to the Pentagon. That's what we'll do. So they ship it off to the Pentagon. And the general there, Major General Mark Ford, played by Donald Randolph, he asks the scientist there, Professor Anton Gunther. Uh-oh, there's no conflict of interest here. Professor Anton Gunther, played by Florence Ames. What? Okay. He asked him, what do you think it is? And his whole team is like, we don't know. We got no clue. They're all stumped. You stump the bartender buying you a drink. So like, well, we're here to call in a real professional here. And that's going to be Dr. Nedrick Jackson, who sometimes moonlights with Perry Mason. Yes, it's William Hopper.
Yep. So we got Peter Gunn and the guy from Perry Mason working together.
Now, I think I have to say here, this movie is 57. I'm fairly certain that William Hopper was already on TV on Perry Mason at that time.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think Craig Stevens was Peter Gunn yet, but again, TV was taken over, at that time. Yep. So he was about to become Peter Gunn if he wasn't already Peter Gunn. Anyway, yep. I digress. So
and then we got the lady who is not Lois Lane.
but you think she is. She got that Lois Lane feel about her, doesn't she? Her name is Marge. Marge Lane. What a character name. Marge. Hey, Marge. Large Marge. That's what she became later on. She became a truck driver.
That's it.
So Marge Blaine is his secretary. She's cute. She's got a cute thing going on there. William Hopper doesn't seem to be interested in her at all. So he might be LGBTQ.
We don't know. Now we don't. We don't
sure.
ask. We don't ask. We don't tell.
We know that he's close to her. They're very good friends. But when they meet Colonel Parkman and Colonel Parkman starts making the moves on her, he doesn't get in the way. He doesn't do anything. He's busy working.
Right.
So there we go. So he's probably LGBTQ. That's my guess. So, and who would have thought in 1957 they would have done that? Anyway, so he goes to Washington. Oh, he's in Washington. He goes to the Pentagon, and he goes and he checks this thing out. And he goes, this thing is, it's a tip of an insect claw of some kind, but it's gigantic. It's massive. I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. I study dinosaurs and stuff like that. That's my thing. I'm a paleontologist, blah, 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 blah. And this is amazing. And so he, how they say that the president, the weight of their job ages them, makes them real serious.
Mm-hmm.
After he sees this, he goes back to the office and he is super tense. And Marge is like, "Hey, what happened, big guy?" and he's like, "What I just saw, you won't believe." And look at her. She makes the Lucy lip curl there. Look at that.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think I like this version of you. And he's like, "No, seriously, I think we're dealing with a giant bug here. Something from another time that is thought out." And then the other professor, Anton, shows up, and he's telling them both, "Hey, I think what we're dealing with is something that is melted out of the ice caps and it's survived." And but Anton's like, "Well, wait a minute. The villagers thought out mastodons from way back when, and they weren't alive; they were dead, so they ate them." and Nedrick says, "Well, Nedrick." What a name. He says, "Well, wait a minute. How do we know they just didn't eat it? Maybe it was alive, but they ate it, and they just didn't say that it was alive. Oh, no, it was dead. It was yummy, but it was dead." So that's actually in that's actually in this movie, that conversation. Anyway, So Nedrick says, "Here's why I'm all uptight, because I think what we're dealing with here is a giant praying mantis. That's the closest thing I can come to here with what we found, what we have." So, and he goes, "If that's true, the next scene is going to be real terrifying."
We're effed.
So, yeah, some Eskimos, their village is attacked. And oh, by the way, in the attacks that we've seen earlier in the film, we hear kind of a buzzing sound of, the wings. But we don't see the creature. This is the first time we actually see the creature. And they see this thing, and there it is. And they haul ass in their boats. They all get in their boats and just head out to sea to get away from this thing. Now, what they don't realize is that makes them easy pickings, because he just has to dunk out of the water now. Bobbing for apples, bobbing for Eskimos. But he gets this guy on the ground first.
Yeah,
but the colorization program really looks good on the praying mantis here. I'm really happy with the yellow eyes and the kind of goldish eyes and the green.
Yeah.
Got a kind of a nice green, forest green look to it. So again, sometimes this colorization program gives you weird, the bug could have been pink, or bright orange. Sometimes, it's called colorized with a Z. Sometimes it does a good job. Sometimes, it gets weird and wiggy. Isn't that right, Hazzard?
It's right. Yes. Thank you very much for asking.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
No, I have no idea. I'm looking at the mantis. Okay, I'm doing some research here on
what
this
I said
mantis.
was the colorized program sometimes does good, like as in this photo here of the giant mantis. I don't know why they didn't call it the giant mantis. Deadly Mantis, I guess it's more intense. But sometimes, it's a little wonky, as you like to say. It gives us pink suits and orange hats and what have you. So in this case, it's okay. All right, so we see a newspaper there. It's basically saying that the Eskimos were attacked. There was some other newspaper, but the program, again, cut off the sides, and you couldn't really read it. But evidently, it's attacking now, and it's killing people, and it's being witnessed. These killings are being witnessed. So Nedrick and General Ford decided to go on TV and talk to the public. Hopefully not causing mass panic. Or actually, Ford says he's going to send him up to the. He says he's going to send him up to the fault line there, or up north, up to Colonel Parkman's base. So when he's ready to go, Marge is like, "Okay, you're all packed, and so am I." She's coming with him. Very Lois Lane move. And again, she takes pictures. She's a photographer. She takes pictures for the museum there for whatnot. And she's waiting for that big scoop picture for the museum. So anyway, there's the base again, and they fly in. And okay, this guy is Paul Smith on the left. Paul Smith does a lot of comedy relief characters in movies. Did a lot of like Disney stuff, and he's the kind of comic relief corporal here in this part of the movie, because when she shows up, they haven't seen a girl in a while up north there, and so when Marge shows up, she's the belle of the ball. And at first, Joe Parkman is he's laughing to himself because of the corporal gushing all over Marge, but then he's like, hey. and he's already making the big smiles and making the moves, and again, Nedrick doesn't seem to be upset by this. So, and he's very fashionable. So I really do believe that I'm right about what I said earlier. So okay, they decide to go and check another place that's been attacked. Or no, they go back to the last the plane site where they found the creature thing. Now, amazingly, the snow has not completely covered up these three-toed landing things. But there it is. And guess who else showed up to the party? Ooh, food. There he is. By the way, the sound effect that they use for this creature, which is very, very ominous, kind of a roar. He doesn't do it here, okay? Because we don't hear him until he attacks the base, and they all see him. But anyway, it is the same sound that they use for the monsters, the creature under the stairs. I can't remember his name. Spot. Yep. Spot under the stairs. It's basically the same roar. A variation of it. It sounds like the same kind of thing. So anyway, so they fly back, and now there's a red plane with red mountains. Again, kind of wonky sometimes, right, Hazzard?
Why do you keep bringing? What is this? What is going on?
Are you eating dinner or something?
Is it like a gotcha? Why is it always this gotcha? You're in a mood tonight, General.
I am.
Too much peach tea or not enough peach tea?
Phone camera messed up. Anyway, no, I'm just making sure that you're watching along with us.
I have to be, or else the show can't go on. I have to be.
So again, I'm talking about the colorization program, and sometimes it gets wonky. So I like when you say wonky. I don't know, So on the side, we see those skid marks. So obviously the creature has taken off. He's going to follow them back to the base. Oh, remember those record players? Those old record players we used to play?
Yep.
And they're having a little party in the what do they call that? Not the commissary. What do they call it? Where the rec room. There we go. Recreation room. It's been a while. Yeah, the rec room. Marge shows back up, and the guys are like, "Hey, the dame's back." Okay, they don't use those exact words, but
that's what they were thinking.
But that's what they were thinking. And Parkman is like, "Hey, that's Miss Dame to you."
Exactly.
This is a 50s movie. So she brought her fur coat with her. See, that's what he's saying right there. That's Miss Dame to you, okay? She's back. Hey, guys, get your pool cues. They like to play pool in the rec room.
Well, yeah. What else you gonna do?
Yeah, make some money. And there he is. Would you like to dance?
That's pretty much it.
Such a goofy guy. He really is. Look at that goofy face. That's why they hired this guy to do comedy. It's Paul Smith, folks. Legendary comic relief. So the Mantis is there. He's landed now, and he's heading towards the base while they're having their fun. He moves very slowly, though, because obviously she's already danced with several soldiers, and they've had a good time before the Mantis shows up. And there's Nedrick, hard at work in his office as the Mantis slowly creeps upon them. I don't want them to hear me.
He's a sneaky one.
He's a sneaky praying mantis, deadly
Sneaky.
mantis.
That's right.
So they show up. They're like, hey, we had a great time for 5 minutes in the rec room. I can't explain it. There must have been some time in the rec room, dancing with the soldiers before they got there. But anyway, maybe he landed after all that happened. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just splitting hairs. So splitting antenna. So yeah, he's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm doing some work. And hey, Marge, why don't you go over by the window so you can scream at the monster when you see it? And that's what happens. And okay, this is Alex Talton. All right. She is one of the original 1950s Scream Queens. All right. Awesome scream here.
Great scream. Yeah.
Awesome scream. So she is an original scream queen playing Marge Blaine in The Deadly Mantis. There she is, Alex Talton.
It's time to do some some spring screaming.
Not easy
Screaming.
for you.
Oh my God.
Not easy for me either. We're totally stumbling on this. Scream Queen.
There you go.
That's
it.
Scream Queen. Scream Queen.
Scream Queen.
Cleaned its screen.
No, it's not Nedrick.
There is actually a tongue twister that's like that. It's the Green Queen seemed to scream. That's true. So Scream Queen seemed to scream.
And she did.
Oh man. So this is actually very nicely done here. I don't know if they did it with miniature puppets or like they did in Japan with the Kamakuras, but really, really nicely done. Him attacking the base there.
Yeah, it's actually, it kind of did remind me of at least this scene reminds me of some of the kaiju movies that those other fellas talk about.
Them, which is another one from this time, was done by a different studio. I think that was done by Warner Brothers. I can't remember for which company did that training film, but it wasn't Universal.
I think so.
But they probably hired the guys that did them. But them was like 1951 or 52, I think, or 53 maybe. It was early. So they must have hired the guy that did the ants in them to do the praying mantis for this one. Because very, very, very well done, these guys. And it's not Ray Harryhausen, because they don't see the jerky kind of movement.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny that you bring up them, because this here training film sure reminded me of that.
Yeah.
It's almost a cross between them and Thing from Another World. They're up in the Arctic. There's a base, but then there's them because they find the smashed hut and the claw and all that. I mean, it's almost shot for shot.
And again, that movie came out earlier than 1957, so really this is a kind of a hack job. It's like, let's take some of this, let's take some of this. Oh, this was good too. Let's use this.
Exactly.
Hollywood, typical Hollywood. And I hate to tell Universal that they're doing that, but the facts are the facts. All right. So the creature's attacking, and the guy, Parkman, Colonel Parkman gets on his horn and goes, all right, you guys, get moving here. That's in the timeline somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. There's the attack.
There it is.
There's the attack. Okay.
There you go.
All right, there you go. So he's grabbing. They get her out of there, by the way, so that's good. And that's before she gets eaten. And then he goes and calls the guys. This poor guy at the table is like, "Oh man, I was winning." He has to leave the table.
I'm out $20.
Damn it. We're being attacked. And they go get their weapons of choice. And yes, they have flamethrowers.
There you go.
See, I kind of moved those two pictures together, so it looks like the same shot.
Very, very good. Very clever.
Yeah. So yeah, they got flamethrower, and it deters. It deters the Deadly Mantis. The Mantis does not like flamethrower. It flies off. They're shooting at it, and it's kind of bouncing off, but the flamethrower definitely has an effect.
Yep.
By the way, surface-to-air missiles and airplane missiles do penetrate the exoskeleton, and that's one of the reasons why he predicted it was a praying mantis, because it was an exoskeleton, and the only creature that flies that has an exoskeleton, I think he said, was the praying mantis. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but something like that. That's one of the ways he deduced it was praying mantis. So the praying mantis takes off, and look how prim and proper he is when he flies.
Very
Prim and proper. He's very prim and proper flying mantis. Of course, that would have made a silly hit title for this movie: Prim and Proper Flying Mantis. So the jets go after it, but this thing can fly, man. I mean, it gets going, man. It's like Mach 5. So the pilots lose him. They lose him in the clouds and stuff, and they're waiting to hear back from the pilots, and they're waiting to hear back if anybody has seen it, and they're just waiting and waiting. And then I think this is the Canadian guy, right? They see him over Canada.
Yeah, he's the Canadian. Yep.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, like you say, giant flying bug, eh? Sounds like Norm Macdonald. Giant flying bug, eh? Yeah, he's like taking out ships and stuff, eh? Oh, okay, great, thank you. I'll report this to the news. It's
like one of the Mackenzie brothers.
Hey, hoser.
John Bug's a hoser, right?
We got a giant mantis, you hoser. I'm drinking a beer. So Nedrick is like, well, hey, if they saw him here and we say here he's moving southward, he's going down this way. So they put out the word. Keep an eye out for him. He's Peter Gunn. And there's that prim and proper flying bug. I think I moved some slides to a different place by accident here. I think there was a boat scene that was supposed to go before the Canadian guy, and I moved it to after this. So there's Paul Smith, the corporal. Hey, would you like some coffee? You want to see me later? He's such an idiot.
You want to see my stamp collection?
What collection? What?
I said, you want to see my stamp collection?
Stamp collection. Perfect. I have a butterfly collection up here in the north.
You like bugs? I got bugs.
So they keep waiting to hear if somebody spots the damn mantis again. I think the Canadian guy is out of place. That's the problem. It should be after these boats. That's what it is. Okay, so this boat is attacked by the praying mantis. Farewell and adieu to your fair Spanish maidens. Mantis in the water. Boat in the water.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're going to need a bigger boat. A giant mantis is on top of our boat, and he's going to eat us.
Yeah, look at that.
Spot, get out into the stairs. All right, so and here's the problem again. One of the headlines is cut off. It's like mantis reported at Bangor, Maine. That's where the boat was, I guess. A curfew ordered in New Orleans. They are so scared about this thing, and all the way down in New Orleans, they're having a curfew. And there's another headline that they got butchered that says that there's a senator or a government official that thinks this is a hoax. So they decided to go back on TV again. And here's the news announcer going, it's not a hoax. It's a real giant deadly mantis. And Ford gets on screen and Parkman gets on screen and say, hey, look, listen to us. We're the generals, okay? We're telling you, there's a giant deadly mantis out there. And people are, listening on their radios. There's still people with radios back then, and people are watching on their massive 8-inch screen TVs.
Yep.
In black and white. And then Nedra comes on, and he shows the tip of the claw, which is nice. And Parkman is with him there. And then Parkman pulls up a little praying mantis picture and goes, "This is what we're dealing with." Except he's like 50 foot. He's big. He's a big one. Big one. He'll bite your head off, man. Or she. She's been kind of testy, so we think it's a she. Voracious appetite too, by the way. They have a voracious appetite. So people on aircraft carriers and people in, towers are watching out for this praying mantis. Everybody's helping, pitching in, and there's the prim and proper from praying mantis flying across the coast.
You know what? I almost want to put the witches theme from Wizard of Oz over this.
That's funny. All of a sudden, he's become Elvira Gulch. She'll bite your head off.
Oh, she will. That's your little dog too.
I'll get your coastline and your capital too. He's heading for Washington. They've actually said he's heading for DC. Look out. So the Air Force sets planes out again. Jet fighters go out there. And he's like, "Oh, fighters! I'm going the other way." Oh, we spotted the Deadly Mantis. Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose him in the cloud cover again. Damn it! They lose him in the cloud cover again. Looks like a dragonfly there.
Yeah, it does.
The deadly dragonfly. Not sounding as deadly as the mantis.
No. I mean, they
There's
mentioned
also another movie which is a martial arts movie called The Deadly Mantis, by the way, just in case you wanted to know.
You cannot defeat my mantis style.
So Margie's been working really hard, and she's falling asleep at the desk there. And Parkman moves in and says, "Let me take you home. You need some rest."
Hint, hint.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So sure enough, yeah, she's got her head on. Put your head on my shoulder. But here they're looking at the radio because on the radio they said there's been a train crash out of nowhere. So they go to check it out because they figure, could be the Mantis. But they don't really say nothing there. And so Parkman is like, let's get back inside the car. And he makes his move. He finally makes his move.
Yeah, they're making out in the car. Yep.
Wow, 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 wow. And she's like, hey, shouldn't we be watching after a giant deadly mantis? Look at that look on her face. You masher.
Baby, I got a giant mantis in my pants.
I'm glad you did that joke and not me. I was thinking it. So we moved to a bus scene, and there's a woman who's not getting on the bus. There's for some reason I can't remember what it was.
No, she's getting off the bus.
Oh, is she getting off the bus? Okay,
she
just got off the bus, and lucky her because the Deadly Mantis is coming out of the fog. And look at the bus driver. And yeah, he goes after the people in the bus. She survived just because this was her stop. Wake up, Parkman. Sorry, it's just the slide how I snapped it. His eyes were closed, but he was awake.
All a dream.
It's like, there was a bus turned over. Let's go check that out. So they go and check that out, and sure enough, yeah, the woman's like, it was a giant mantis. It was a deadly mantis. I don't know. They know it was the mantis this time.
No,
they couldn't prove it at
off.
the train site, but they know it this time.
It looks like they're holding off to the loony bin. Like, yeah, sure, lady. Praying mantis. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, giant mantis. Yeah, come on. Got a nice little jacket and some pudding waiting for you. Jello. So, by the way, I love pudding and Jello now. I'm an old guy and I love pudding and Jello. Every night.
Well,
I put in Jello.
Yeah, you got the Deadly Mantis on the pudding and the.
Hey, Deadly Mantis with the pudding and Jello. Oh yeah. So the green pudding and so Hazzard, were you listening that time? You love the cause. I know it. You love the cause impression. He's not even coming back. She's angry with me now. I'm just trying to make you part of the show. Anyway, so here's a nice little stock shot in broad daylight with a clear sky of a surface. I'm sorry, surface-to-air tank missile gun. Surface-to-air missile. And that cheeky bastard, he does a flyby at the Capitol. Look at him. And he climbs up the Washington Monument, right?
Yep.
That's Washington Monument, right?
That is that it is.
And I think he eats the two guys out of the top of that.
Yep. You know, the thing is, this one scene here, I think they used the real mantis the way it moved, and then they cut to the.
I had the same thought. What it is they have a real mantis crawling up the side of a model of the monument, and then the second picture there, I think, is the creature, the practical effect.
Yeah.
Because it's actually using its claws to get into the top of the thing there. So the planes come out, and the man is like, "Oh, planes, get out of here!" He flies away. He's gotten away from him so many times before. Come on. So General Ford is like, "Okay, stay with him this time. Don't lose him. Surface to air missiles, fire!" But there's planes up there, sir. I don't care. Fire. Again, another nice stock shot, surface to air missile cannons. Yeah. And there's the prim and proper Deadly Mantis flying through the gunfire there.
Yep.
I
think they're called flak guns.
Flak guns.
Yep.
It's been a while. So he's flying over New York now. They make it very clear it's New York. He flies over like the Empire State Building. And they get him. They shoot. The airplanes here. The jets get him. And in one of those planes, if I'm correct, I think I'm correct here, it's Colonel Joe Parkman, right?
I don't know.
Hit that next slide.
I think so. Yep.
I think that's Parkman. It looks like him in the face.
Might just
it's
be.
Not Clint Eastwood.
Nope.
Where's the tarantula? Gosh darn it. I want to kill it. I want to napalm it. Hazard, did you hear that impression? Okay. So she's not coming back. She's hating me right now. So they're shooting at it. They've got tracer fire in this shot, and they hit it. They finally hit the damn thing. But he takes out Parkman's plane. So Parkman has to eject out of his plane. So he parachutes down to Earth. Now, some time has passed. The bug has evidently made his way into the tunnel, one of the tunnels there in New York, and they've closed it off, and they've filled it with smoke. Now, if they were smart, they would have filled it with insecticide, but I'm not there. So they fill it with smoke because they're going to send a team in with explosives, and they want to give them cover. So they fill the thing with smoke. So Parkman shows up and says, "Okay, I'm ready to go." And they're like, "Hey, you're not going in there. You just ejected out of a plane. What the hell?" It's like, "No, I'm going in. I'm going to lead this team." So they go ahead and they let him go. I think even Nedrick fights for him, says, "Yeah, let him go." So March doesn't say anything. Masher kissing me on the time. Your corporate was nice. He gave me coffee. He's a good dancer too. So he goes in there with a team, a squad of men against one giant wounded Deadly Mantis. And they've got two explosive bags that they brought with them. So sure enough, we see the Mantis moving slowly in on them. And those shots are not so good. And then we finally get the reveal. The Mantis is there right next to him. Oh my God! Did anybody else saw their suit? So he says, "Give me the grenade! Give me the bomb bag!" So they give him the bomb bag, and the monster's moving in, and they throw the bomb bag at him. This scene goes on forever, folks. This is a very long scene. I've cut it down considerably. a lot of reaction shots, and then they blow him up and finish the job. Underneath the soft underbelly of, of the Deadly Man. I don't know. Anyway, I would think that there's an exoskeleton all the way around, but anyway, they kill it. And it's dead. All right, it's dead. Let's open up and get the smoke out. So they get the smoke out and they come back. Marge comes back in with Parkman and Nedrick and General Ford. And I guess he's the chief of police. He's just there. We never really get introduced to the character, but he's in the back of every shot. Guy in a dark blue uniform, it looks like. So he's probably the head of police. And a very nice shot. I think this was done with a model and toy cars, but a very nice matte shot. There is a scene where she's taking pictures of the thing where it looks like she's right there next to him. So, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe this is a real effect that they created. You know, they created giant ants for them. So, you know, and she has a look like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of sad right now. And they're like, they're laughing. Like, it's dead. Ah. She's like, well, what are you laughing at? And they're like, go take your picture. This is what you wanted. Go. So she gets up close and she snaps a picture, but she kind of feels sad for the praying mantis. You know, like, I didn't ask for any of this.
I thought she was just scared. I thought she looked scared.
Heart. Oh, you think she was scared?
Yeah.
I thought she was kind of being bleeding heart liberal kind of thing.
Oh, well,
but
I don't know.
That's just me. That's what I got. Like, oh, I'm sad that he died, but I'm glad that he died. So she goes to take a picture and a claw starts to move. And it raises up, and Parkman jumps in there and whisks her away from the claw that's moving. And Nedrick says, no, don't worry, it's dead. That's just a pure reflex action. Yeah, well, I peed a little bit. I hope he's happy. So now she's in Parkman's arms. And again, Nedrick's telling her it's just a knee-jerk reaction. You know, nothing to worry about here. And this is a short film, by the way, folks. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes. Universal was notorious for that. And again, you know, usually these films would have, you know, a newsreel in front of them, a short, a cartoon, you know, all that stuff in the beginning. So they would be like an hour and 40 minutes. Again, you want to get under 2 hours because you want to get more shows in a daytime. That's how they explained it to me anyway. Right. So Parkman realizes now's the time that I should propose to her in front of these guys, in front of this dead monster. And she's like, I thought you'd never ask. She kisses him. Very romantic moment. Let's take a picture. Oh, look, porn, guys. Free porn. Look at the police chief in the back. He's happy. And this next shot is precious. It's like, hey, stop taking pictures, you guys. They all sound like South Park characters now. So they turn around. Okay, let's take a picture of the monster.
Yeah,
and it's one of the endings.
You know, I feel sorry for all the people who have to clean that up. You know, now they got to go in, chop this thing up, drag it off.
I feel sorry for all the guys that have cleaned the inside of those suits.
Well, that too, yeah.
That too. So I just lost 5 pounds brown. And I'm in a white suit. The end. He's dead. Da, 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 da. And there it is. And of course, it cuts off the names in the credits. But it's Craig Stevens, William Hopper, Alex Talton, Donald Rudolph plays
Randolph.
Mark Ford, General Mark Ford. Pat Conway was Sergeant Peter Allen. I guess he was the radio guy.
Yep.
Florence Ames is the Professor Anton Gunther. Yeah, so there it is.
Yep. And Paul Smith as the Colonel, Corporal.
Paul Smith as the comic relief. Now, there's another actor named Paul Smith. He's a big guy. He played Bluto in the Popeye movie. Right. And he was in Dune. He was one of the guys in Dune.
Yep. And
there's not a lot of movies. He's a big hulking monster of a man. We might do a show about him someday.
He was in a lot of movies. He was in a lot of movies with and I forget his name, Terrence something. bunch of. 'Cause I think he's Italian. He did a bunch of spaghetti westerns.
Oh no, that's I know who you're thinking of. That's not
Or am
Paul
I
Smith.
thinking of some? Oh,
You're
am I
thinking of another guy. You're talking about Terrence. I know who you're talking about. Trinity is my name.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
those westerns, the spaghetti westerns.
yeah.
I want to say his name is Hill. Oh, Terrence Hill.
Terrence Hill.
Terrence
But there's
Hill
another guy.
and
Well,
Bud Spencer. Bud Spencer, I think. Anyway, yeah, they did several movies together. The Sergio Leone, and those movies, for some reason, he didn't want to bring out that he was the director, so he had all these new nom de plumes. He had all these fake names, aliases, but he directed most of those.
right.
The best of which did not have Bud Spencer. It's My Name Is Nobody. But I digress. But we have time because we have, again, this was a short film, so we got through it in 50 minutes.
Yeah. Because My Name Is Nobody. My Name Is Nobody. That's the one that had Henry Fonda, right?
Hank Fonda was in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best one of the Trinity films.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't say his name is Trinity in that, but you just know he is.
Oh yeah, it's the same guy,
But yeah, Bud Spencer was in most of those. Yeah, he was in like 80%. Bud
Spencer, you're right. Yeah, yeah. They kind of look alike. That's why.
There's one called Boot Hill. There's My Name Is Trinity. My Name Is Still Trinity. My Name is Trinity on weekends, and sometimes I dress up.
Oh, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work
but again,
all
when
day.
I couldn't get Clint Eastwood, yes,
they got Terrence Hill. Yep.
They would get Terrence Hill.
Yeah.
I think those guys are. I think Bud Spencer passed, but I think Hill is still alive. He's got to be like 90 something, but I think he's still alive. Anyway, they did some other movies too. They did like Super Cop or something together. There was a couple of other movies they did that weren't westerns. Were kind of comedies.
Yeah. Terrence Hill is 85 years old.
He's still alive.
And he's still alive. Yep.
I should get that autograph while you still can. So, all right. So this was the Deadly Mantis episode. It's 171. Episode 172 next week is going to be The Frighteners. And it's the end of the season. And we're going to have Troy. Oh, my God. I keep calling him the wrong name. And that's terrible.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that. We know. I keep saying Aiken, and that's not it. It's Troy Evans. Troy Evans, actor that was in Frighteners as the sheriff. He's going to be here to go through the timeline with us. So it's always good when we get a star to come on the show and do a little timeline with us. So we always enjoy that. And he's a fun guy. He was on It's Casual. On the Cosmos Network, and he talked about all the movies. He's worked with Jim Carrey in the Ace Ventura. He's worked with Stallone a few times. Didn't have good things to say about Stallone. Stallone likes to golf in his trailer. He keeps people waiting. That pisses people off. What are you going to do? So yeah, but very fun episode, that episode. And I have a really good feeling that next week's episode is going to be a lot of fun with him talking about the Frighteners. I had nothing but good things to say about Michael J. Fox and praised, who's the guy from the Combs, Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah. From the, damn it.
The Reanimator.
Reanimator. There you go. Reanimator. Thank you for that. From the Reanimator films. He was in that as a really fun character.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Busey, D. Wallace Stone, a lot of good people in that movie.
Yeah. John Astin.
John Astin.
Yeah.
John Astin is still alive. He's like 90 something.
Yeah.
He's still alive. He's out there.
He's 94.
94. Wow. More power to him. That's awesome. I would love to get him on for that show. I'm going to reach out to him. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool if we had two stars talking about the movie? Wow. That would be awesome. I'm going to reach out. We'll see.
All right.
So tune in for that. Next week on Two Guys and a Gal Talking Movies, they're going to talk about the latest James Bond movies, the Daniel Craig films, the Timothy Dalton films, the Pierce Brosnan films.
Yeah.
And on Tuesday, Roland Pruitt's Kaiju Review, they're going to do Godzilla versus Gigan, which we did a couple of weeks ago. Or did we do it last week?
It's been a couple of weeks, I think.
It's been a couple of weeks, right? Yeah. Because we did Renfield last week. That's right. So it's been 2 weeks.
That's right. Yep.
So they're going to do Gigan. We're going to hear their take on it. And next Thursday is our show with Troy Evans.
Troy Evans.
Yes.
Yeah, because Aikman, I think, it's like a football player or something.
He did one of the Munsters movies too, like Meet the Munsters. But he evidently that was not a fun film for him. That was not a good one for him. So he didn't want to talk about it. So and he wouldn't elaborate as to why. I think it was a TV movie. Maybe that was it. That's what, yeah. When you do regular movies and then you have to relegate to you got to go back to TV and do something on TV. It's like a different kind of game. It's like a different type of environment, I guess. Yeah. So maybe it's not as good. Anyway, again, I'm just filling time here. Hazzard, are you with us still?
Of course, I'm always here. We can't have the show if I'm not here every second.
I called out to you like
I'm integral.
He'll tell you. I call out
you are.
I'm integral. I don't know how you think the show is like just moving and grooving and banners are coming up and it's like all this. I don't understand.
You're with a Bigfoot right now, aren't you?
You need more peach tea. Let me just tell you that.
I drank a whole cup of it.
She's either with the Bigfoot or she's making out with Roland.
Well, we don't call him the Bigfoot. We got other stuff. There's other. I have a more intimate name for him because I know him. He's not the Bigfoot.
Oh, poor Roland. He's gonna lose you to Bigfoot, isn't he? Poor Roland.
Bigfoot has his own version of the BDE, but that's another story. I'm just teasing Roland. Don't worry about it, honey. I'll be there in a minute. Just don't worry about it.
Man,
I got to deal with that now. Thanks a lot, General. That's my evening.
I'm pissing you off today, aren't I?
Because his mother watches it all.
I'm
just teasing, evening. Mom.
It's just a joke.
It's one thing to lose a fella. It's one thing to lose a gal to another fella, but when you're losing it to a Bigfoot,
it's a bigger primate. It's a bigger primate. But it's all just in good fun, Mom. Don't
bigger being the key word here. Big feet. I'm just saying.
You know what they say about
fun. It's just for fun.
Sorry.
You know what they say about You know what they say about fellas with big feet. They wear big shoes.
There it is. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us on the Big Monster Briefing Room. Can you go back in the timeline and show me a picture of the Deadly Mantis? I forgot to say something during the show.
Oh, wait.
Back. Yeah, there we go. No, back further. Keep going. Keep going. Keep seeing the same stuff. I want to see a big shot of that. One more. There he is. That's a face that only a Marge could love.
Thank you very much. All right, that's a wrap. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, folks.
That's what we needed. I was waiting for that.
This here's Master Sergeant Havoc. Thank you for watching this episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Now, why don't you go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell next time big old John Monster comes calling. See y'all later.